Hello, everybody. It is Daniela here from Matchpoint, and we are here to be answering all of your burning questions about all things networking and events. I'm so excited. I'm here with Ruud Janssen, the co-founder of the Event Design Collective and co-creator of #Event Canvas, a leading methodology for event innovation. More than just the expert in designing impactful events for global organizations like the Olympic Committee, the UN, and Google, Ruud is passionate about helping teams create meaningful change through innovative event design. So Ruud, thanks so much for being here.
My pleasure. Thanks for the invitation, Daniela.
Of course. Are you ready for your rapid fire question?
Take it away.
Okay. So your question is, how can event organizers measure the success of networking sessions during and after their events?
Yeah. It's very simple. The events only create value through behavior change. So knowing what behavior you're looking to change is critical. That's why event design is so relevant. And if you want to measure the impact of the connections made, you can physically look at what are the connections that are being made in real time, if it's an on-site event, through the camera and using microphone, or by observation. And then online, it's much easier because you can track the connections. And so this is an invite. If, as a result of going to this question and answer session with Daniela, you'd like to connect and reach out, we can measure the impact of our networking. So thanks for the opportunity, Daniela.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have do you find that it's like hard to kind of differentiate between like a meaningful connection versus just, a baseline connection that's not necessarily going to go further? Like, is it hard for an event organizer to actually measure that when they're doing observation or post, like looking at data or things of that nature?
Yeah. You never know where connections start and where they lead to, right? So I think it's when it comes to event design, our obsession at the Event Design Collective is how does your event create value, but mostly this to craft, quantify, and celebrate progress over time. Boil that down to individual connections between stakeholders or between specific types of participants. It's a very personal thing sometimes where that is determined over time, right? So you can craft the initial connection, you could quantify the amount of connections, but celebrating the progress of that connection over time in whichever metric you want to use, that's part of the event design cycle that you need to take care of and measure it over time. So, and this is why recurring events are so useful, because if you have repeat visitors and you have people that keep coming back to the same event, and you can see what behavior change there is, if they've obtained value as a result of going to your event, the likelihood of them coming back is much bigger than if they've not had any value, even if it's just in their own perception. So yeah, I think these things are very personal, but they can become more and more tangible. And the tool of choice that you guys use here on LinkedIn, to me, is a very valuable one, because I can see degrees of separation, I can track conversations over time, and I can even link it to CRM systems or other pipelines, if you want to get really technical. But at the end of the day, it's a personal feeling and a personal reward for connecting to people and seeing the progress of that relationship over time.
Absolutely. And I love what you said before about celebrating connections that are made at your events. That's just like a feel-good thing. And especially if you're seeing people recurring at your events over and over, like shouting out a connection that they made or celebrating a partnership, that came from their event is like tooting your own horn, but also celebrating those event attendees. And they're just going to keep wanting to come back. So
Yeah.
I like that. That's a really good.
Can I give you a practical example?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just to close off, this is a
Sure.
shout out to the team at IMEX. IMEX is a trade show in the events industry, as some people might know. Last year, one of our certified event designers, Janet Ham from Penang in Malaysia, brought over Datuk Dr. Haja Rosmawati from Sabah in Malaysia. She visited our stand at IMEX. We had a conversation. She made a connection. That connection led to us bringing our event design certificate program to Kota Kinabalu just 2 weeks ago. And now 22 people in Sabah are certified event designers as a result of that connection. So you see the networking effect, if you will, from valuable connections and transitioning trust, which I think is one of the key things you can do at events, right? But you also have to build the trust. And if the events don't build the trust in the first place, or if the people don't build the trust in the first place, these things won't happen. So most of it is up to the individual and how they activate their own behaviors and how they connect beyond the actual event.
Absolutely. Awesome. Okay, Ruud, this was really great advice, and I really appreciate you for being here.
You're welcome.